Hi, welcome to RENEE's Masterclass. My name is Sarah. I'm a makeup artist and an educator. And today we'll be creating a soft glam nude look on our model. So सबसे पहले मैं eyelids पे concealer लगाऊंगी in the shade Vanilla. Eyelids पे concealer लगाने से your eyeshadows last longer and they don't even crease. This concealer is extremely creamy and it provides a very good coverage. Going to do that on the other eye as well. I also like to apply some in the middle of the brow. Now using the foundation brush, I'm going to blend the concealer out. Make sure you don't overblend it. Then I'm grabbing the Nude eyeshadow palette. Gently patting the eyeshadow over the concealer, ensuring that it's set really well. Always do this with a matte eyeshadow. I'm also using RENEE's blending brush in the number R5. So once I'm done setting the concealer, I'll grab this light brown eyeshadow, still using the same brush. And we'll use this as our first transition color. We're adding depth in her crease. This also works as a great contour for the eye, especially if you have hooded eyes. Try using a light brown eyeshadow on your socket. And we're going to blow the eyeshadow out so that her eyes look longer. The great thing about these eyeshadows are they're quite buildable. So as you can see, I can keep layering them. I'm going to do the same thing with the other eye. I always like to move the brush in a windshield wiper motion, left, right, or soft circles. Left, right, and soft circles on the outer corner. And another tip, don't grab a lot of eyeshadow at once. Always grab little by little and add depth. Now I've grabbed a flat eyeshadow brush in the shade R8 and I'm grabbing this bronzy eyeshadow. Now whenever you pick up shimmers, don't pat, always drag. Lifting the lid up slightly and dragging the shimmer. A lot of times we do the mistake of patting the shimmer on. That's wrong. It's always better to drag the shimmer. And again, you can layer these eyeshadow up as much as you like. You can create a very natural look with them as well as a very dramatic look. Doing the same for the other eye. Applying the shimmer eyeshadow in a dragging motion. Another tip, you can also wet your brush slightly either with a setting spray or a bit of water and then apply the shimmer eyeshadow. Now using the same brush, I'll grab this deeper bronze color, again in a dragging motion, and I'm going to place that on the outer corner of her eye. This is going to add more depth and definition to the eye, blending it out using the same brush, doing the same on the other eye. Using a lot of different shades adds a lot of definition to the eye. I think bronze eyeshadows in general look great on Indian skin tone. As you can see, this eyeshadow looks stunning on our model here. Now I'm going to add a smudged eyeliner on our model using RENEE's Kajal pen. Gently pulling the lid and smudging the liner along the lash line. As you can see, it's very creamy, very jet black, and it's very long lasting. Aksar summers mein our eyeliner or kajal smudges and it transfers on our top lid. But this one is not going to do that. So that's great. It's summer proof. Just going in a left-right motion. Doing the same on the other eye. I think soft smudged liners are great for a daytime soft glam look. Now moving on to my most favorite part, eyelashes. Now these eyelashes are 3D. They are double stacked. They are cruelty-free and they are reusable. So you can use them over and over again. सबसे पहले तो eyelashes को बस eyes पे रख के देखेंगे. And as you can see, they're slightly long for her. So we're going to cut them only from the outer corner, just a little bit. अब इतने ही दूसरी lash को भी cut करेंगे. Using the back end of a brush, I'm going to grab a little bit of the eyelash glue and I'm going to apply a medium layer on the lash band only. अब glue ना ही इससे ज़्यादा होना चाहिए, ना ही इससे कम होना चाहिए. Now, I like to hold the lash and twist it a bit while it's drying for around 30 seconds. When we twist the lash, it just sits better on the eye shape. And also, if you're applying lashes on yourself, you can go ahead and blow on it. But if you're applying it on a client, never blow on them. I like to hold the lash from the center like this and just stick it on the center of the eye. It's only stuck on the center right now. Inner corner and outer corner abhi nahi chipke hain. So now I'm going to grab the outer corner and stick it, and then the inner corner and stick it. Going to do the same for the other lash. Twisting and turning the lash for around 30 seconds. Holding the lash from the center and sticking it on the center of the eye. Now the inner corner and outer corner are not stuck yet. Just the center is stuck. Now I'll grab the outer corner and stick it, and then the inner corner and stick it. Pushing the lash on the eyelid, making sure it's stuck really well. Once the glue is completely dried, let's say for around another 30 seconds, and then we can ask the model to open her eyes. Moving on to the base, now I'll start off by cleaning her face using RENEE's wet wipes. Now it's really important to clean the base before you start with the makeup. This gets rid of any eyeshadow fallout, even though there isn't a lot of eyeshadow fallout because these eyeshadows are great, but still it's necessary to have a very clean canvas before you start off with your makeup. Now you know how a lot of wet wipes are quite harsh on the skin? These don't do that. In fact, they're quite hydrating. Now let's prime her skin using Glass Glow Pre-Makeup Oil. This oil not only hydrates the skin, but it also adds a very dewy, luminous finish to your base. It's also perfect for someone with oily skin as it's not very greasy. It has a very perfect consistency, so don't worry, even if you have oily skin, you can get away by using this. Massaging it well. Also, I don't use a separate under eye cream. This oil does a great job of hydrating her under eyes. And it's not necessary that you have to use this oil just before makeup. You can also use it as a part of your skincare routine. Whenever you feel your skin is dry, you can always apply this. Let's move on to color correction. Now for that, I'm using the concealer in the shade Caramel. Now this concealer is around 1 to 2 shades darker than her skin tone. Now whenever you want to hide any sort of discoloration, pigmentation, acne scars, it's always better to use a concealer that is darker than your skin tone first. A lot of times after applying foundation, you must have noticed that this area turns gray. That's because you haven't color corrected. So always color correct using a concealer that is darker than your skin tone and then apply the foundation. Doing the same under the eye. And now I'm going to blend that out using the foundation brush in the number R4. Again, remember, don't overblend it. Let the coverage be there. As you can see, these concealers are very creamy, very buildable, and great. So once you're done with color correction, we'll go ahead and apply foundation. Now these foundations are pretty matte, oil-free, and they also have an SPF of 8. So it's going to protect you from the sun, and they're pretty full coverage. I personally just love mixing 2 shades of foundation together to get the perfect undertone for yourself. Now, a lot of times you may not get the perfect undertone by just using one foundation. So trust me, it's really important to mix 2 foundations and find your perfect undertone. So now I'm blending both the shades together, Mocha and Chai Tea, using their foundation brush. I'll first spread it on her entire face. As you can see, this foundation is very easy to blend, pretty full coverage, and it's buildable. So if you're someone who loves full coverage, you can add another layer to it. Or if you're someone who loves natural makeup, you can add a very thin layer as well. Now, as you can see, one side of her face has foundation and the other does not. Yet, it looks very seamless and natural. Now, that's the magic of this foundation. It does not look cakey, it does not look too much. It adds the coverage, yet looks flawless and natural. Applying the foundation on the other side as well. As you can see, it looks very creamy, very natural, pretty good in coverage, looks stunning. And I also like to drag the foundation a bit on the neck area as well, so that it matches your neck. Now let's go ahead and highlight her face. For that, I'm going to be using this concealer in the shade Maple. Now remember, this shade is around 1 to 2 shades lighter than her skin tone. That's because we're highlighting her face. This is going to add more dimension to her face, and it's going to photograph really well. Highlighting the center of her face, her forehead, her nose, Cupid's bow, chin, as well as the under eye. So remember, we color corrected using a shade darker, and now we are highlighting using a shade lighter. Also going to blend that out using the foundation brush in patting motion. And I'm also loving this brush. A lot of brushes leave brush strokes and the foundation does not blend seamlessly, but as you can see, this one is not doing that. I don't see any harsh lines or brush strokes. This concealer is very easy to blend. It adds that perfect coverage. It looks stunning. Now moving on to their lip and cheek tint in the shade Pandora Pink, using their blush brush in the number R2. Now before you powder your face, it's always better to apply a cream blush first. Then you can powder your face and then apply a powder blush. As you can see, their lip and cheek tint blends perfectly well on top of foundation as well. If you want a very natural look, you can just wear some concealer and apply a little bit of their lip and cheek tint and you're good to go. A lot of tints don't look good on top of full coverage foundations. They make the foundation look slightly patchy, but trust me, this one does not do that. Just patting that, and the brush is doing a great job of blending it. And I also like to apply a little bit on the tip of the nose to get that very flushed and cute look. Now I'm going to set her face using 2 different shades of powders. Nude Beige to set her entire face and translucent powder to set her under eye. I'm grabbing their powder brush in the number R1, picking some powder up and gently patting it over her face. Now setting your face with powder is a must, especially in summers. This is going to ensure that your makeup lasts really long. Nothing's going to transfer at all. It's going to make the foundation sweat-proof. Always apply the powder in a patting motion. Never drag it, because remember, your foundation is not set yet. It can leave brush stroke marks if you drag it. So always pat the powder and then set your base. Using their translucent powder to set the under eye. Now these powders are pretty lightweight. A translucent powder can be used on any skin tone. Even though it looks white, but don't be afraid. Even if you're on the deeper side, you can use a translucent powder. Now because we had highlighted the under eye, hence I used the translucent powder under the eyes. And for the rest of her face, I used a powder that matched her skin tone. Moving on to the under eye makeup, using their Kajal pen in the shade Hard Black. I like to gently pull the under eye and then apply the kajal on the waterline. Now this kajal is very waterproof. It glides very easily on the waterline and it's jet black. Going to do the same on the other eye, and it's smudge proof as well. So if you're a bride to be, no matter how much you cry, it's not going to smudge at all. Then using the light brown eyeshadow and their small eyeshadow brush in the number R8, we're going to add depth to her under eye. Now I'm going to use their Fab 3-in-1 highlighter, the top shade, using the same brush, and we're going to highlight her under eye. This Fab 3-in-1 highlighter is great for your face as well as for your eyes. As you can see, it has instantly brightened her under eye. Highlighting your under eye gives the illusion of larger and more wide awake eyes. Going to add a little bit on her lower lash line as well. We're also going to highlight the brow bone. This again gives the brow a very lifted effect. For those of you who have droopy brows, you must highlight your brow bones. I'm also going to use the same stick to highlight her collarbones. This adds a stunning glow on your body as well. Later, I'll blend it out using the foundation brush. This adds a very natural glow to the body as well. As you can see, it looks stunning. Using their Peachy Pink Blush Duo and their blush brush in the number R2, I'm going to grab the pink shade and we'll start patting it on her face. This blush is also very pigmented. It's very creamy, very easy to blend. A lot of powder blushes are very chalky, but this one is not. It looks stunning. And both of them can go pretty much with any skin tone. Now remember, we're layering the powder blush on top of the cream blush. So your blush is going to last easily 12 hours. Moving on to the last part, we'll apply their cream lipstick in the shade Mood for Nude. Now this is a perfect nude for Indian skin tone. It looks stunning. It's very creamy, very long lasting, and it has the perfect shade as well. It also keeps your lips hydrated throughout the day. I'm going to top it up with their Seamy Shine lip gloss in the shade Nice and Nude. This again is a very stunning lip gloss. A lot of lip glosses are very tacky and they don't last long, but this one is great. It lasts really long and the shine stays throughout the day. It's a very lightweight lip gloss and non-sticky as well. So today we created this very easy nude glam look using RENEE's products. As you can see, doing professional makeup is very easy using their products. If you liked this video, please comment down below. Remember to like, share and subscribe and hit the bell icon. Signing off, Sarah Khan.